Last weekend, they announced Justin Gaethje versus Ilia Topuria as the main event for the UFC's White House card. The initial reaction from Gaethje fans was excitement. This once-in-a-lifetime opportunity had been given to their guy. Their champion would be headlining the most prestigious UFC fight card of all time. Now, a few days removed from the initial euphoria, reality has begun to set in for Gaethje fans. Their guy has to fight Ilia Topuria. Their champion has to fight Ilia Topuria at the White House. And Topuria has been as big as a negative 676 betting favorite for this fight, while Gaethje has been as low as plus 429. Minus 676 to plus 429, odds like that would suggest the fight probably shouldn't have even been booked in the first place. And secretly, Gaethje fans have been praying that the fight wouldn't be booked. Now, none of them are going to openly admit this, but they were hopeful that Topuria would just continue to chase Islam Makhachev up into the 170-pound division and simply vacate the lightweight belt somewhere along the way. They thought they could have their cake and eat it too, and they were wrong. They thought they could avoid El Matador and still call themselves the champion, and they nearly got away with it because all signs point to the UFC originally wanting John Jones versus Alex Pereira for the White House main event. But when that fell through, they pivoted originally and moved on to Topuria versus Makhachev. And if Islam hadn't injured his hand attempting the Dagestani stranger, Gaethje would have become the undisputed lightweight champion without having had to face the Spanish music. However, as fate would have it, the UFC failed to finalize either of those super fights, and what we were left with, much to the horror of Gaethje fans now, is Justin Gaethje versus Ilia Topuria. And I don't know if you guys have been keeping track, but Ilia Topuria is 2 for 2 when it comes to brutally knocking out former BMF champions. It's almost as if when he's fighting someone who held a BMF title, he specifically makes it a point to brutally send them to the Shadow Realm just to let everyone know who the real BMF is. And Gaethje fans know this. Gaethje's only real advantage over Ilia is size, but he doesn't have the fighting style to actually make use of that advantage and implement it into his game plan in any meaningful way. Gaethje fans know this too, which is why after that initial euphoria wore off, all that was left was despair. So for Gaethje fans, it's been an absolute roller coaster of emotions over the past week. From the ecstatic response to the initial fight announcement, followed by the cold realization of what that fight actually means for them, and finally to the growing depression with each week as the looming fight date approaches. I'm reminded of a scene from the Iliad where Achilles approached the walls of Troy and demanded that Hector come out of the city to face him. Hector's family wept and begged him not to go out to face Achilles because they knew it wasn't a fight. It was a glorified execution. Justin Gaethje was threatening to retire if he didn't get a title shot. He was already thinking about calling it quits way before this fight. What do you think he's going to do when he wakes up from his mini coma in front of the President of the United States? He wasn't even supposed to be there in the first place. The stars had to align just to get him onto the White House card because just like the Greek warriors of mythology whose fates had been predetermined by the gods, Justin Gaethje's UFC career was written in the stars eons ago. And on Sunday, June 14th, 2026, we will see the end of Justin Gaethje's career.